you.
Hey everybody, here again, another one there. Check out animals that make no sense in the same place. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm sure this is something, but I can't really think about it. Oh, really? Oh, what the heck is on the water? What the heck is that thing? Hold on.
Jesus moose.
It's a Jesus moose? Okay.
He's the Messiah.
The Messiah is hilarious.
This video is brought to you by Pure Hyperfixation, Severe Undermedication, and an 8-second clip from
Is that a
2021.
penguin in the...
Let me learn you something.
That each other exist.
What, don't know they exist?
Sharks have no clue that camels exist, and nobody's talking about it.
I'll talk about it, because you're loud and wrong, sir. The animal's
Really?
nickname, the ships of the desert, will take that moniker literally, as there's a group of camels that seemingly defy nature by swimming. Sometimes to outrageous degrees. Well, not
Yeah,
really.
but the same
Journalists
place as
realize
sharks?
It takes much less time to list the mammals that can't swim. And if you're not sure, just assume they can. And wouldn't you know, backpacking a hump of fat makes for an elite flotation device, which is why the animal
I guess
built to
that makes
survive
sense.
the absence of water while also being able to pull up on you at sea is proof that the difference between reality and fiction is that fiction has to somewhat make sense. These hyper-developed swimming sand donkeys are known as the Karai camels. Along with being a synchronized exercise in free will, this aquatic prowess allows them to cross rivers and even shallow sections
really
of
is
sea
free will.
to reach
Like,
salty
oh, let's go
mangroves
this
on the
way.
other side.
Let's go.
And they're weirdly, almost disrespectfully graceful at it, and can keep at it for hours like nothing. In fact, I've seen hump jockeys struggle more with dunes. Act like you've been here before. So the chances
Wow.
you find a salt-seasoned sand llama off the Arabian Sea are low, but never zero. And there's at least one shark aware that camels exist. He told his friends. They did not believe him. And if that crossover wasn't weird enough, and it really should have been, it turns out shark and camel blood both contains tiny antibodies, nanobodies, that penetrate deep into tissues in a way nothing human can. And scientists believe that these nanobodies can be engineered to help humans treat diseases like cancer. That has nothing to do with this video, but that was just too weird a coincidence for me.
Man, better shut up before you get these camels and sharks murked, bro. Bro, people's gonna start hearing that and immediately start hunting them niggas down.
Oh shoot, we gotta cure cancer with these guys.
To just leave out, but yeah, anyway, some sharks do know camels exist. And it had me thinking, one of the consequences of the big cough of 2020 and the
big
worldwide
cough
timeout that followed was that zoos now had to find new ways of keeping animals engaged.
Oh,
and to some, that meant
I
showing
guess
them
that makes
animals they'd
sense.
never seen
I've seen
before.
videos.
You had elephants excited to discover sea lions, penguins finding fish the likes of which they'd never
Hold
seen,
up,
and a sea
hold
lion
up.
that could
They
not
did not
believe the
just put an
concept of a
elephant in the
tegu. But then I
aquarium.
thought, what about the most unlikely
Yes, they
animals
did,
that
because-
do know
I don't
about
know.
each other? And that's what this video
How
is.
does he
Animals
fit
you
through
would
the
not
door?
expect to find in the same place, in my biased opinion. I'll explain that later. Because depending on where you live, you might
It's
just
Alex.
think leopard seals exist solely in the South Pole as an op to penguins. Well, one, penguins aren't even the biggest part of their diet, it's krill, but two, leopard seals have randomly appeared in places like Tasmania, New Zealand, South Africa, but especially Sydney, Australia. And it was a leopard seal in Sydney
Well,
that
that
was
makes
found
sense
with a
because
full-grown
those are the
Australia.
those are the closest places to Antarctica, so that would make sense where they're down
It's
there.
Australia. I'm not surprised at this point.
Right? They
could tell
forget.
me, hey, there's this new creature that was born with a genetic gun in its mouth.
Yeah.
Permanently like that. I'd just
Freaking
say,
Australia
"That's
got the
Australia."
YNs of all animals, bro.
platypus in
Exactly.
its
They pull
stomach.
up with
Obviously
the strip,
incredibly
with the
rare,
switch.
but there was a brief but very
They are
real
always
moment
strange.
where
Every animal
duck-billed
just comes
Bio
injected with
Abomination
cocaine in
and a
it, bro.
rubber assault
I'm telling you.
submarine were aware of each other, and a short time where you could have seen both, and that might not even be the most unexpected predator-prey crossover. And that's thanks to Pet Foolery for immortalizing this nonsense right here. For the longest time, this has been one of my favorite animal facts to mess with people's heads. That a moose's
I love
habit
this
of
one. I
diving
know this
underwater for food means they are a natural prey for a high-contrast steroid apex dolphin. And after saying it for years, I regretfully have to make a confession. It is true that the same megadeer that can dwarf cars on the freeway can also dive up to 20 feet underwater. That
Oh,
is, if
really?
Musai doesn't just run across it. But there are very
The
few,
Mu-
if not
he
one
even
main
said the same
incident where they
joke.
became orca
The
fodder
Musaya.
for it. This was in 1992, when two moose were swimming about a mile off of Alaska's Pleasant Island. Evidently, their experience was anything but, as the pair were quickly approached by 4 transient killer whales.
Oh,
One moose
nah.
was marked and eaten on the spot, and the
Right.
smaller of the two managed to escape, but proceeded to drown in a kelp bed. Since then, there have only
Dang.
been a few cases of swimming moose and deer getting opportunistically bossed up by killer whales, not nearly enough to be a habit. The fact remains that there are orcas fully aware of the concept of a tangler, which can result in a really bad day to be a moose. But again, super rare. But there's one animal crossover that has only gotten more common. This is the predator with the widest range in the Western Hemisphere for a mammal. So much so that depending on where you are, you might call it a cougar, a puma, a panther. They're not actually panthers. Mountain lion, catamount, I've never heard them called a catamount. Which
Right,
means
I don't
they
know
have
what
an
that is.
exceptionally wide prey range. And the
It's all
most
the same
random
thing.
animal that has to worry
Oh.
about them are penguins. This picture
What?
is absurdly unserious, but the fact isn't. Magellanic penguins will breed at the very tip of South America.
Is the
Means
surf's up?
open
Why the heck
season
are they
to a
on
cat
the
that
for the
probably couldn't
dunes?
believe its luck of finding a colony of birds that can't fly. God bless that penguin. He's trying to argue with a feline Grim Reaper. and
Right.
The Puma's just trying to get him to go out with something.
Hey, he stayed on business,
You
though.
genuinely need a whole new course in sex
I mean,
ed
he's
for them
wearing
to
a
just
suit.
comprehend
So
the
where else
level
is
of
he supposed to
they
stay
are.
on?
Imagine stumbling into a
Casual?
community of waddling refrigerated meat slurpees. And the pumas treat him as such, so much that the pumas in Patagonia have even reshaped their natural behaviors around the presence of penguins. It'll never not be weird to know you can find cats and penguins in
Oh,
the same
dang, he
place.
dragging.
Now imagine if it happened twice. If I had a nickel, somehow on a completely different continent, it's the same script with different characters. With Caracals in Cape Town plundering colonies of African penguins. Caracals have the juice to make gravity look optional.
Oh,
so
good
discovering
lord.
blubbery, flightless chicken nuggets is the worst thing the penguins could have asked for. To the point where officials had to relocate 2 caracals after they murked 130 birds in only 2 months. I feel so bad for penguins.
Oh, okay. How many were there though?
No idea.
Depending on the amount-
Thousands.
Like, no, I mean like the cats or like the whatever this is, like
Oh,
the
yeah, there's a few of
bobcats.
them. There's two of them.
Just
Two
so
of them killed
each.
200
co-
birds in less than a month. So they caught like 100 bodies.
No, they caught 130 within 2 months. He said so.
That's
That means like that's like 65 bodies per cat in 2 months. Yeah, you got it, bro.
yeah. You guys gotta go. You gotta
Man.
go.
They
You're top
really
of the
get
leaderboard,
bodied by the
man.
most random things. Like, there is
gotta
no
get
way I
balance.
should be able to look up
You gotta get
armadillo
balance.
eating
Just a
penguin
dip
and
and
actually
step
get
in.
something. And I can't even show you that picture because of a turtle sloth turning a penguin into a ketchup packet. Just know, armadillos know about
Oh
penguins.
no!
And the penguins are not happy about it. Nobody gives flightless birds a break. Especially not the birds that can fly. Because there are ravens that not only are aware of the world's smallest penguin, but they'll go to some gruesome measures to grief them. Which actually sucks because for the longest time, foot-tall, 3-pound fairy penguins were somewhat safe on Australia's Phillip Island. But as recently as 20 years ago, scientists have noticed ravens randomly spawning in, much to the disaster of the pint-sized penguins. And these ravens have gone to
Dang.
extreme measures to raid their nests, like harassing the parents for hours to strong-arm them to surrender, or a pair of ravens working together with one raven distracting
Just
the
get
parents
information
while the other
on
digs into the
Animal
nest to
Wars.
pirate
I
their
swear,
progeny.
people
There
just
was
be
an
watching these
incident where a
niggas kill
parent
each other and not help.
freaking yeeted a penguin parent off
Oh, yeah,
a
I'd definitely be
cliff
sitting there
before
with the
poaching
camera
their
in the back,
offspring.
just like,
Very
yeah.
unkind of them. There's
That's gonna
way
be
too
a
much
big
penguin
influence.
prejudice in this section, so let's shift gears. Oh, come on, dude! Okay, but like,
Oh,
seriously,
God.
sea lions are interesting because
If you see a sea lion in the park, you turn around and don't look back.
That's his park. That's his park. That's not my
Right.
park. It's not a public park. It's a private park. A property of Sea Lion.
Yes. No, I ain't going nowhere. I out to this day. Okay, so I was terrified Happy Feet as a child. Didn't know why,
As you should be.
but I didn't gain the curse till I was 12. And I tell you right now, the second that demon from below
That-
came out of
that
freaking
damn
nowhere
leopard
to
seal.
grab that main penguin, it scared the life out of me.
That damn leopard seal just.
Heck no, I know it's
coming
probably not
from
even the same
depths of
thing.
hell.
It's
No, it is
probably
a
not.
le- it's
Oh, it's the
leopard
same
seal.
thing. Oh, it's the same thing. Yeah, heck
different,
no.
different.
Yeah, you know,
Uh,
either way, anything that looks like it, I'm not messing with it, bro. Heck
No,
no.
I'm not messing with it either. Because that's about a ton of blubber and teeth and pain.
Yes, I ain't doing none of it.
despite their name, sea lions are much closer to bears and the weasel crash out
Oh, I
Mustellas.
can tell.
Beach bears that do land part-time. Think of that every time you want to call one a sea puppy. Why they're called lions? Well, you're
Look at
looking at
their-
the main reason why. But what if
Wow.
lions and sea lions met each other? Well, lions on a beach feels wrong, but it happens. Lions really don't get enough credit for how adaptable they are. And on Namibia's
Really?
Skeleton Coast, some lions have started combing along the Atlantic coast and hunting resting fur seals, which kind of felt wrong to me. You know, I grew up on watching them go after zebra, wildebeest, buffalo, but watching them stalk seals was weird. It was weird for the lions too, because researchers noticed the lions seemed unsure of how exactly to go about hunting this new prey. But in lion fashion, these beach lions adapted to a diet of sea lions. I know I said fur seals, they're actually closer to sea lions, so you can delete that comment. No.
Alrighty.
Making them the only lions known to hunt
lions.
marine prey, which would technically make these lions marine mammals. Okay, not really, but it's still weird for me to see. I'm talking about lions on a beach. That doesn't feel real. And for y'all that are gonna be like, obviously, how did you not know? Listen, I don't know what I don't know.
There's a
Lions on the beach
stingray
is
that
like
close
snow
to
in
shore.
Africa. I know it happens. It's still gonna earn a double take when I see it. In fact, I bet a number of y'all are stun locked on the snow in Africa thing. Like, yeah, that happens. They got
I
ski
mean,
resorts too.
Africa
So before
goes
I get
down
accused
the.
of
No,
using
it's not.
Allen
That's
Iverson,
South
yes, it
America,
does
but
snow
it's
in
next
parts
to
of
South America and how further it
Although
goes
I'm not
down.
surprised you're surprised.
Like
The way
South,
some
like
of y'all
South
talk about it,
Africa,
you'd think
I
Africa
imagine it
actually
definitely
was a country.
snows.
Wait till you find out we have houses too. Alright, I'm projecting, but like, bro, imagine being in high school and having someone genuinely ask you if your parents grew up in a hut. Then I say my grandmother's house is like 3 of yours and I'm the bad guy. Man, I did not need to say all that, but
Wow.
yeah, it snows in Africa. To be fair, the animals don't look too happy about it. Speaking of snow, 2 other animals you wouldn't expect in the same place, or at least you wouldn't if we share bias. I remember how mind-blown I was when I found out grizzly bears and polar bears know each other. Now imagine how confused I was when I found out they do more than just know each other. To the point where growler bears are a legitimate thing. Or pizzlies, it depends on who the daddy is. Grizzly growler.
Bruh, they went to a
Yep.
different environment, then got straight to cracking, bro.
Hey,
Hey,
fair enough.
interracial, bro. Let's get these mixed kids going, bro.
Big cats are the same thing. There's such thing as a lion, is a tie-in, and a liger. And depending on which one's the daddy, depends on which one it is. If it's a lion's a dad, it's a liger. If it's a tiger as a dad, it's a tie-on.
Huh, how about that?
And they are freaking massive. They're
Polar
bigger than
pizzly.
both of them.
I guess it's not that surprising when you realize polar bears essentially evolved from brown bears.
They're
It's
brown
actually
snow
pretty
bunnies, bro.
interesting to see them on camera in the same place.
No,
And if you're
not-
wondering
not
how
the-
these
not the
encounters
snow
go,
bunny-
a study showed that
not the snow bunny
grizzlies
bear
usually
GF.
dominate these interactions, with polar bears being submissive. And with a lot of encounters happening in places
What?
like whale carcasses, 132 out of 137 recorded interactions saw the polar bears giving way to the grizzlies. But evidently, they'll meet up to feed and breed, and surely the first polar bear to ever go grizzly forever disgraced her polar lineage. But I guess
Wow.
the rhyme's wrong. If it's black,
She was
attack.
shunned by
But
her
if it's
family.
white, you'd be aight. It is wild that you have 2 apex predators that would normally have no love for each other, or in some cases try to eat each other, suddenly flipping a switch and breeding each other. It's an enemies to lover trope that sounds like it already has 2 seasons on Hulu. One theory says that the disappearing of the sea ice polar bears count on is forcing them further south where polar bears, especially
they're really
females,
walking
can
on
have
the
run
thing
into
like
male
that, too.
grizzlies. Similar to other large predators like lions and tigers, male grizzlies
And
will
bears.
disperse well beyond their mother grounds, establishing a territory far removed from any possible relatives. This results in some males living on the absolute outskirts, and why virtually all the brown bears seen in the Canadian Arctic Islands were male. So you take young grizzly nomads and hungry polar vagabonds and 2 species that would have had minimum
That cut was diabolical. That cut was diabolical. Do you see that?
outskirts.
I might need you to go back
Why
and rewind that one. 'cause I
virtually
did not
all the
see it,
brown
'cause
bears
I'm
seen
kinda
in the
looking at it in, like,
No,
2
hold
frames.
on. My bad. Hold
Arctic
on.
Islands
No,
were
Right
male.
here.
So you
In a second.
take young grizzly nomads and hungry polar vagabonds and 2
Oh, they
species
cut
that would have had minimum
They cut that.
That cut was diabolical. Why's the thing
Yeah,
glitching
if
all of a
any
sudden.
sudden?
interactions
television.
are now humping out hybrids. It actually reminds me of wolves and coyotes because
Oh,
when wolves
nah,
can't
he wanted
stand
him
them,
gone.
Coyotes hate and fear wolves. But when humans nearly wiped wolves out, the population got so low that you got another season of enemies getting amorous. Now,
Wow.
thanks to the same humans that tried to flatline them, there
So
is
you're getting
today
cracked
a
by your
legitimate
biggest
koi
ops?
wolf population in the United States. But with
No,
the
your biggest ops are
growlers and
cracking you,
polars,
there are
it's
more
still a
of them than
super
you.
rare occurrence, but these occurrences have slowly been trending up. Just in 2017, researchers recorded 8 hybrids in the Arctic Islands and traced them all back to a single female polar bear after she had mated with 2 male grizzlies. And
Oh,
you'd think this
dang.
love child
Got
would
the
be
double black
ultimate
man
OG
action.
predator, but
Oh,
what you
heck
actually
no.
get is a bear that
Why does it look like a guy in a suit?
Right.
And you think
Freddy
this
That man-
Fazbear looking ass.
That man gonna murder the
He
whole
gonna hit you
jungle. That man gonna murder the whole jungle.
He gonna hit you with the.
Oh no! If you hear that noise, you're truly screwed. I'm
Buckshot would be
sorry.
the ultimate
No, I have
OP
that one. Like,
predator,
they were playing
but
Subnautica
what you
one time, I
actually
just
get
did
is a
this.
bear that can't properly fill the niche of either. Not polar enough to live on
They
the
started
ice,
freaking
not
out.
grizzly enough to go fully forest. Basically, if Logic the Rapper was a bear. Luckily, the next two animals
Dang.
don't have this problem. One, because a crocodile is physically, fundamentally, biologically impossible. But even if it weren't, they'd kill each other before they got the chance.
Dang.
Now, maybe I'm uninformed. Maybe
They are
everyone's a
straight
lifelong
hands or
herpetologist but
in
me,
their
but
case, teeth.
I did not know that you could find crocodiles and alligators in the same area code. And to further risk my credibility, I didn't think North America even had crocodiles until like last year. In my defense, there's only one place on the planet where alligators and crocodiles cross paths, and it's in the
That would make sense. Of course, it's
because it will
freaking.
always be Florida. That's where this video
Right.
was taken of the two tankiest reptilians throwing down. So let's break it down. Well, Marv, here you can see the belly to the pavement gator wants no
World
smoke.
star.
He is not trying to see him later. Meanwhile, Mr. Crocodile wants all the. Oh, that's a strong hit to the gator, who is fully on the defensive.
You're gonna put
Now
this
the
on live
crocodile's
leak.
closing in with the confidence of the higher ground. That is the difference off-road suspension can make. It's looking bad for the gator at this rate. We won't see him later. He's gonna have to put something on the board because he
Shut up.
is losing on the score. Oh, another hit. This to the back of the
This
skull.
man's so stupid.
Taking a page out of the Jaguar Panthera playbook, and he has drawn blood. Our gator may have to. Oh, the first offensive move by the gator, and it is a beautiful counter. Fun fact, folks: the crocodile, strongest recorded bite force on Earth, but their jaws can be held together by bare hands, and the gator has taken full advantage. He might be able to. Oh, more punishment. To the
Dang.
man that bet the house on the gator, your wife you will not be seeing later. God bless us all. Just another day in the Florida Everglades. But yeah, crocodiles and alligators in the same place. Kind of crazy. But that's just Florida. But there is one place that
Yeah,
has
it will
arguably
always be
the most
Florida at the end of the
insane
day.
animal crossovers on Earth. And it's a place
it's
you've
just-
probably
it's just
overlooked. And that's because
Just how
India
it
does
is.
not get enough credit for the sheer biodiversity they house. Virtually no other country has more species of wild cats. And with tigers, leopards, rare snow leopards, and even rarer Asiatic lions, India also has 4 of the 5 major big cats. They even got some cheetahs in there too, but it's the predator interactions in India that are notable. Specifically,
Well, I mean,
the
no
beef
big
between a
cat.
big cat and a bear.
What the
Sloth
heck is
bears are
that?
insectivores, fueled by the
That did not
generational
look like no
trauma being
freaking
preyed
bear.
on by the biggest cat. So their main defense is being as offensive as possible, crashing out in
Oh,
ways
nah,
that can
that thing's
make
on
even a big cat
cocaine.
backpedal, which makes sloth bears the overgrown honey badger of India. Or at least it would if India didn't already have them. Not only does India have honey badgers, but tigers are very aware of them. Now, this is the only clip I could find, and I'm gonna pause it right here because that weasel's clearly not doing well, but it is interesting that the
Wait,
same
he just
scene.
knocked him over. Like, hold on, let me.
Pause it right here
Bruh, snuck that nigga.
because that weasel's clearly not doing well, but it is interesting that the same scene we're used to seeing with lions also plays out with tigers. India doesn't just have a honey badger, they have a hyena too, the lesser known striped hyena. They're career scavengers, and with them often trailing behind much larger predators, they're basically the coyote to the tiger's wolf. They're also that to a literal wolf, cause yeah, Indian wolves are a thing, and the wolves and
Bro,
hyenas
that-
have something of a rivalry.
He
Where a
eaten in
single
days.
striped hyena can displace the single, smaller wolf, but Indian wolf packs can send a hyena packing. Although I've also seen striped hyenas take on multiple wolves, so it just shows that there are no absolutes in nature. But studies also show that sometimes striped hyenas will travel with wolf packs and even share dens with them, which is a plot twist I was not expecting. Striped hyenas will also cross paths with sloth bears, sometimes foraging in the same space. Although the only interaction I could find of the two was a striped hyena carrying the disembodied head of a past tense sloth bear.
Oh,
That's my comfort character right there. Anyway, back to the Indian wolves.
That's-
They also have run-ins with
that's
tigers.
diabolical
although for
work, sir.
obvious reasons, those don't usually go the wolves' way, and they try to avoid them. Especially because tigers are often the ones nerfing the wolves' numbers. But because wolves are wolves, there have also been occasions of packs harassing and mobbing the much larger tiger, even following them to drive them away from dens despite the risk. which is honestly everything I love about them. Side note, can we just take a moment to acknowledge the beauty of an animal most people don't know exists? But to make a long story short, if you told me that there's a country with 1/3 of all the cat species, 4 out of the 5 big cat species, the world's deadliest bear, a lesser known hyena, an even lesser known wolf, and a honey badger, well, I'd call it the greatest crossover event in nature. And now I see why the Jungle Book was based there. But that's gonna do it for this video. If this video gets more than 200,000 likes, I will make a video on Indian animal lore, because there is a lot of it. Just ask
Alright
this
then.
guy. But for now, drink water, hug your mother. Reminder, there's a shark out there that knows about camels. Let Pops know you appreciate him, and I'ma see y'all in the next one.
Hey, you know what? And that's some more animal facts to you, man.
I honestly did not realize how diverse India was. I mostly thought it was elephants. So, like,
I mean, hey, the most thing we hear about India is just the fact that we don't know how their stomachs process the foods they eat. But hey, I guess that's it for this one, man. Hope you have a good day, and God bless.